What's going on there, everyone, and welcome back to the video from the Demon Overlord. Today, we're going to be going into the Dart Wars style demographic. That's right, we're going to be going over a new blaster. Today, it is the Dart Zone Covert Ops Storm Squad Quick Shot Blaster. This bad boy right here. Now, so we go off the packaging, very simple. Dart Zone is a nice, simple packaging, thank goodness, but they always make it look pretty nice and snazzy at the same time. So, props them on that. Just move my chronograph a little. Okay, says it will shoot up to 80 feet. Based on what I've seen with Dart Zone, I usually believe them on that. They're pretty reliable. It's a 4-dart blaster, so we're not going with a 6-shot sidearm pistol. We're going with only a 4. So we won't have as much as your standard blasters, like the Chronos or anything like that from Rival. Now, this is part of the Covert Ops series. I looked into it. That's why some blasters don't show up in Adventure Force. So this is actually a true Dart Zone product. This isn't the Walmart conglomerate version, like where you have the Zuru, Buzzbee blasters, such as, for instance, the Destroyer being an example of that. Can't help myself, I know. Now, it does have a nice trigger on it, according to this. It just says trigger, but you can see it's like a very special trigger, and if you listen to it, very nice, good pull on the trigger. Okay. Also has an auto advance rotating cylinder, so it will automatically turn with every trigger, so that's really nice. Pull back to load, so we are top prime. Has easy indicator that it's primed and not too hard to release. You know, it really pulls on a finger there a little bit. But it also does have a super shot scope for accurate blasting. And yes, they went with the gimmick for like, oh, if I put a scope on it, it's accurate. I mean, yeah. Like, yeah, it's a little too small to be kind of doing the whole, like, I aim down it. And from a distance, it's not too bad. I mean, they ironically put an iron sight up here, like the idea of an iron sight, but it's like, why? If you're going to put a scope on it, why do that? Now, you cannot remove the scope. It is not removable. This thing is always going to be on this blaster. Unless you go through the effort of, like, somehow sawing this off, but some of the screws that are required to hold these, the primer together actually do hold on this as well, so it's going to be kind of tough. Now, when you look through the scope, you can see it from that angle. There is that little tiny bit of a, like, from where the screw is here, there's a little over, which makes it get in the way. But if you're looking down the scope really good, it's not really noticeable. You're not going to care. I find it interesting they put a little orange end on the scope here, but not on the other side too. And there's another thing I also want to go over. This thing is okay, but it needs one more thing to make it really good. This handle would have had to have been a little bit bigger, just a bit. Because for an adult hand, as you can see, it's, you know, the pinky likes to slide under there. Due to the hook, and you get kind of like, you know, you want a nice little bit of spacious grip. You can see my pinky's wrapping. Yeah, it's not good for adult hands. Adult hands are, like, I have to kind of tighten my 3 fingers really tight together to get a really good grip. Now, this isn't going to be a problem for maybe a few hours, but if you're in anything that's really long and you're using this all the time, it might hurt your finger after a while. Like, you're going to hurt some fingers. They're going to get a little bit stiff. Now, as always, though, I do always give it a good shout to Dart Zone because they actually give you a full clip of darts on the lease. And these are not your bad Adventure Force or the, like, these are actually the good Dart Zone waffle heads. These are good ones. They're not the bamboo darts, but, you know, these are good darts. And it's actually easy load. For up here on the front, we actually have an easy load port, so to speak, like just an easy guide for the dart to go down. It is only on one side of the barrel, so I mean, like, meh. But, you know, as you can see, pretty easy load. Just press them in nice and tight. Make sure they're, you know, making that air gap disappear, so it's nice and sealed. And pretty darn accurate. That was like slightly higher than the center of the crosshair, so that's pretty accurate. But what do I expect from waffle darts? Waffle darts are always accurate. They're always awesome, and they're always amazing. Turn that on now. So, load another waffle so we can have a full clip when I do this. Now, it is easy to turn this by hand. You can do it by hand. You don't need the smart rotator to do it if you want a specific dart. Now, does this dart function with other darts? Yes. I have tried putting in the what I like to call the blunt head dart from Adventure Force, which is more of the Zuru style, I'm assuming. We have the Elite Dart, will fit, so it will fit your standard blaster styles. I have tried putting in a short dart just for giggles. It doesn't fire. I'm not going to try it on here because why defeat the purpose of something that doesn't work. either the barrel's too long or there's just not enough like special punch to really fire them out. So I mean, you probably could modify this and shorten the barrels, and maybe it would work great for our half darts. The downside is you're then losing the full dart capacity. Though, I'm not gonna lie, half darts do seem to be the most efficient and accurate, as well as the best ammo type out there. So maybe it wouldn't be such a loss. Well, anyway, let's get this thing set to the FPS meter. There we go. We're going to do some shots and see how this thing does for power. 78. 74. Oh, we got a misfire. Even on a misfire, 31. That's not too bad. 72. And now we're going to switch it to the Elite Blaster. I know. It's like, why are you even using Elite Darts? They're so inaccurate. I mean, that grouping was pretty freaking tight, so I'm surprised. Well, not surprised, sorry. Those are waffles. I'm not surprised. The Dart Zone Waffle is still, in my opinion, the best length dart you're getting out there for full length. I mean, maybe the bamboo dart's better, but I've never fired a bamboo, so let's go with some Elite Darts. 73. That was a bad shot. 77. 73. Oh, I have one more. I always keep a little extra dart just in case I mess up one. 77. That's interesting. 77 twice, 73 twice. How do I go off that? That's an interesting... You know, we'll say 77 to 73 is like the range for this. So that's already beating the Elite par with both types of dart. I'm actually shocked the waffle darts didn't do any better. But maybe this thing fires so hard that it just doesn't make a difference. So we're going to try the blunt head darts. We're going to see if they make a difference. $85. Okay. Okay, that bounced around inside, but still came out with a 69, so I'm assuming it's going to be pretty... Wow, another 69, but once again... There we go. And, wow, 89. Almost a 90. Okay, we're going to retry that, because I want to see if any of these will break a 90. If this gets a 90 for a simple blaster, when we get to the final review, you'll be shocked why I'd be shocked something like this gets a 90. I gotta see this. I gotta try enough waffles, because I'm not gonna get it with the elite darts are just, they're just not good enough. 90. Hold on one second. Wow, I'm sorry. I had to pause because I was in shock. That just jumped to 95 with the blunt head dart. With the blunt head dart, which is not the best dart from Adventure Force in my opinion, or even it's just wow. I'm going to switch to waffles and see if we can get a really good number like that again. This time, hopefully, I make my chronograph stay that way so I can show you guys on the camera, too, to prove it. So, 80. Wow. Okay. Dust in there. Oh, weird. Why was there dust in there? Try to figure it out here. Okay, well, after all that firing, we got into some averages here. Sorry, I just trying to do an average off the top of my head. So off the top of my head, I'm not doing the math because I ain't sitting here and doing calculators for you all. And off the top of my head, I would say right now, with the waffle head dart, and surprisingly how good the blunt heads were performing, it was just shocking. So this thing can get occasionally to 95 at the high end. So its highest possible, sort of special seems to be the low to mid 90. And when it comes to the low end for the Adventure Force and the Dart Zone product darts, getting around mid 80s to even a sometimes low 80 being the low end. So really, we're around 85 to 95 for an average. Not too bad. I mean, for this blaster. And we've compared it to the Nerf Elite Par right now being 70? And then with the Elite 2.0s don't fire all that much better. And that can compete with Rival, in my opinion. So, dang, and that's just straight out of the box. I have not modded this thing in any sense of the word. It's just impressive that it does so well. Now, I do like the scope on here because after shooting all those times and priming it, I actually like this because it's a grip. You basically get a grip to prime with, which makes it so useful, so much fun. 84. So much fun and useful. Now, there is one thing with the handle here. I don't know what this little eagle grip going on here, the little claw, as some people call it, or a little hook. Is that so I can have two of these and grab the top of the scope and prime it that way? Similar to the strong arm and the disruptor? Might have to look into that because I don't know if that was a built-in feature. Now, yes, there is no Picatinny rail in here. There's no rail of any sort, so you're not really going to be attaching like special ops. So the tactical part, you know, not really all that useful. I mean, so the idea of it being compatible, I mean, yeah, I could easily use this with any loadout. And it's, because of its small size, it's going to easily fit in a pocket. It's going to fit in an easy sheath. The scope is going to be the one thing you're going to have to, like, kind of, you know, worry about. Maybe if you keep it primed back and it stays back like this, but otherwise, Now, it doesn't have a safety on it, but like I said, it has an easy prime indicator being the, obviously, outstretched priming handle piece. And honestly, if you looked on the scope, it's not that bad. I mean, could you make this any better? Maybe. If you wanted to take out these barrels, maybe put like some metal barrels in there instead. Try and, you know, give it some more tighter of a feel to the dart. Will I ever update this thing? I like it the way it is. Less work I have to do, and honestly, it's ready to roll. Like I said, handle is my biggest gripe with this thing, this handle. After a while of shooting it, the thumb is getting a little bit pressed because like I said, I got to press really tight and shove the hand up there to make it so I get a comfortable enough grip for a very long, lengthy use, but really good. Now, I think it would definitely shoot the 80 feet range because it is shooting pretty hard. It is shooting pretty accurate with everything except the Nerf darts, which, as we know, are not. Will you be firing Mega? No. Will you be firing like a rival ball, or in this case, an Adventure Force ball? No. Will it fire half-length darts? We can always try. I mean, I said it probably wouldn't, but let's just see if I can. Let's see if we can even get a shot. Yeah, no. Okay, so apparently, I think due to the length of how the air comes out of there and escapes, it's just not going to happen. No. So it won't fire half darts without some modifications to it. Now, what else can I say about this little bad boy? The little quick shot here, this little covert ops. I like the covert ops, and it kind of sounds cool. Now, I also do like how it does have all the decalment on both sides, like every little what do you call it, checkering or anything like that, any little lines, you get them on both sides, so it's, you know, very symmetrical that way. We're getting, like, you know, equivalencies. We're not like, you know, with Nerf where they like to do for the one side, this side usually, and then leave this side blank. They don't do that, which is nice. And this is not bad. I mean, you could paint this thing up, make it look really snazzy, really cool and aggressive. Or you could just leave it the way it is. I mean, there is a green version of this out there. I don't know how you get the green version. If you're a bigger fan of green, maybe you have the green Spectrum and the green Villainator, and you want it to be able to match with those ones as the sidearm for you. But this one works pretty good. Now, if I had to choose this over the Destroyer that I said was a gem from before, that's a tough one. They're both good. The handle's more comfortable on this one versus this one. But when it comes to power and performance, this one's a little bit better. But what do I expect from Dart Zone? I mean, that's Zuru. This is Dart Zone. This is a pretty good little mini beast. And it's not too bad. Being 4 shots versus a 6, okay, you're losing 2 shots. But you're gaining a pretty reliable, pretty accurate beast when you're using something like a good dart, such as the waffles they come with. They can get up to around the 80s to 85 range as a normality, with a 95 jump up for occasional. That's pretty darn good in my opinion. And that's fresh out of the box. Now, we've talked about like the comfort. We've talked about the overall design is just pretty cool. The ideals, all that, pretty simple. Now let's get to price. Oh boy, price of this blaster. How much will you be out buying this? I'm going to say you're out of 5 and some change. This thing's 5 or maybe 6 and some change after tax, depending on, you know, where you buy it. But this seems to be only $1 general. I can't seem to find this thing anywhere else other than on websites for markup. For some reason, secondhand price and these things go up. It's like they figured out they're pretty powerful and they're like, you know, to get yourself a really lovely little like pistol like this, you're gonna pay. Just surprisingly so accurate. Now, $5 at Dollar Generals. That is super good for a nice little pistol like this. I definitely recommend it. I'm gonna give this thing at least 4. It's gonna lose a star completely due to just this the stock. It's the only thing that kills it for me. Now that's my opinion. Maybe you like it more. Maybe it fits your hand better because your hand might be smaller. But it's pretty darn cool. It's pretty snazzy. Not too inexpensive. And it came out in 2019, so it's not too old. And I think it's going to compete. Since darts are still, you know, very popular of a style for ammunition for these things, it's got some staying power. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Like I've said before, if you haven't subscribed, I definitely recommend doing so. It's going to give you notifications for whenever I pump out a video of any of my topics you enjoy. Make sure you hit the bell to all notifications. As well, guys, make sure you like and comment. Helps keep us get past those pesky YouTube algorithms. Now, have a great one, guys. I'll see you next time, and bye-bye.